Hello guys, so today I'm going to be taking you through the view of the host dashboard. So although we do have a host dashboard view on iPhone or Android, this one in particular is on the desktop view, so feel free to have a play around on either of them. I'll take you through everything that we've got on here, the features that you might not be aware of. So we'll start from the top and work our way through. Starting with the first section here. So this is a section that we've put, which is a self-improving section. So as you know, you've got AI already built into these guidebooks, so they can answer any questions that the guests might have about your property. What we like to do on here is if there's anything that seems like a recurring thing or anything that a guest might have mentioned, it's going to come in here and you can click on that and you can have a look at these sort of questions and decide if you want to approach them in a different way moving forward. These are just nice quick links to take you to different parts of the guidebook. We've got a link here showing you how many guests are currently using it. We've got this section here, which will again take you to an area where you can handle any AI related queries. We've got the guest verification section. So this is pre-built into every single guidebook, and it's a free product that we include with the guidebook. There is an option if you want to go a bit further than that. For example, we can do criminal record checks or anything like that, and that's an additional option that you can choose to go with. But the most basic feature on that is free for everyone. We've also got a section here which will kind of break down all the sections that you've got within your guidebook. You can find everything within there that you might need to look at. You've got your easy to share links, so you can preview the actual guidebook yourself, you can edit it, or you can share a link with your guest. This section here will show you how many guests are actually using the guidebook. We've got an upsell section here, so you may provide early check-in, you may have late checkout, you might want to provide an area where guests can pay to receive a welcome hamper. This is all included here. If you click on that section, you can make the changes to that, which I will go into more detail for you. But this is a good place on the dashboard for you to just visually see how much you're actually making from that. You can see on here, for example, this one, the guest is paid by card, it's been settled with Stripe. You can see the date that they checked in and when they're checking out and when they requested that check-in time. These are more navigation buttons here to get you around the dashboard. Payments connected, so we've partnered with Stripe. If you haven't already set a Stripe account up, this isn't going to be visible on this guidebook since this demo account already has one set up, but here's one I prepared earlier. You will find this section here where you can connect or create a Stripe account. It takes about 2 minutes to create your account, and you'll immediately start taking payments, so you won't be paying any platform fees to people like Airbnb or booking.com. So we quite like using it because we get to extend somebody's stay by an hour or two, charge a bit more, maybe £15-20, and we're not paying that extra bit of money towards Airbnb or someone like that. This section here, again, that's really useful if you are somebody that wants to verify your guests. It's an option for hosts. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. So heading over to the property section now, everything is already pre-populated from you. As soon as you buy this, it's implemented, it's straight off the shelf. It will pull that information through from Airbnb, through your Airbnb URL, and it will have the majority of that information that's at least on Airbnb or available on booking.com that will already have pulled through, and it have pre-populated it. So from the moment you download this link, you can hand it straight to guests. You don't need to do anything, but we still want to give you guys the options if you want to customize it or do anything differently. So this tends to be the hero photo that you would have on Airbnb. That's the one that we use as default, but again, you can your Airbnb photos will already be there. You've also got the option to upload, or you can kind of drag to reposition that picture however you wish for that to appear. If you're someone with a lot of properties or you're trying to build your brand, feel free to upload your own logo. That will also appear there for you. And then we have a list of different themes so you guys can use. So we've got our limited edition Wizarding House themes. You know, you can go with sort of Slytherin sort of look, or maybe you might find yourself you're a bit more of a Gryffindor fan. But if none of them float your boat, like myself, I quite like I think Airbnb have put a lot of time and effort into the way they've built their app, and we've tried to kind of bring that through into the way that we've designed the guidebooks for LetGrow. So you've got a few different options here if you wanted to pick a different theme for that. And again, if that's not your taste, just have a play around and decide what you want to do with that. So moving on from there, we found a lot of hosts want to include their direct booking link on there. We also give the guys an opportunity to put a sort of coupon code in so you can get recurring guests. But we've put this here so that if you're somebody that's conscious of about paying platform fees, you can include your own website on here. You've already got the link going from Airbnb. The guests can see it there. You don't have to share that information on Airbnb, because I know Airbnb does block messages that say, oh, try and book with us at direct. So if you're still trying to get that message across and you are trying to move your traffic towards recurring stays coming through a direct website, then this is the perfect way you can do that. It's nice and visible for the guest that's using it, and next time they come, they can book for you that way. Again, there's a guest ID section. These are the two options that I was telling you about. We've got a more thorough verification process, which is £1.50, or you can just stick with the basic free one, which will take a photo ID, and it will make sure that the guest has to actually match their face with that photo ID. So it's a third party that provides this for us. They're one of the top in the industry. But if you are wanting to go more thorough than that, if you want a sort of background checks or anything like that, we also include that with the thorough package. So this is the arrival and stay section. Again, this sort of information does get pulled through from your Airbnb profile. What I've done on here is you can include your Wi-Fi name and the password, and this will appear as a QR code on the app for them. It automatically copies it, so they can just click on it and it's already there for them, so they can just input that straight into the Wi-Fi settings and get on nice and quickly. We've got sections for parking, getting around. This example here where we've put some instructions for parking, we were able to include a photo as well. You also have an option if you want where you can include a video. So if it's a little bit more difficult to actually get to that property, then by all means you can upload a video to do that, which we have done on a lot of our other properties. The map location as well. Now, for us, the postcode doesn't actually show where our actual property is. So although that pulls through from Airbnb and it's accurate, we do give you the option where you can change that. You can add check-in instructions, times that they need to check in. We allow you to toggle the different bits and bobs that you might want to appear. So if there's stuff on here that you just don't think is necessary, you can just toggle that off and it'll disappear. This is the section here where I mentioned you can upload videos. So if you were wanting to show how to get to the lockbox, how to use a tricky keypad, anything that guests really struggle with, this is where you can kind of add these sort of videos, and that's visible for them. Moving on from there, we've got the guide content. So if you can add a voice welcome message, this is something we do like to do. It's a bit more of a personal touch, but we know it's not to everyone's liking. So if you do just want to add a message via text, then you do have this option here, but we like to often record our own voice and put it there for them. House rules, this is again pulled through from Airbnb. Whatever you've already got on there, it's already pulled through for you, so you don't have to add it again. But if you do want to change anything, or you don't think, or there's new bits that you want to add, by all means just go on there and you can update that. We've got guest sections, so you can add bits about the property, Wi-Fi. Again, all of this stuff is pre-populated for you because we want to make it as easy as possible. You can just pick this up and hand it over. Now, this section here, this is for appliances that might be a bit more difficult, and we're not too, and we get a lot of requests from guests how to use it. Now, what we've done here is we've given you the option to, for example, say you've got a smart TV. It's a Samsung. I'm going to get stuck here because I don't know any Samsung TVs, unfortunately. But explain to guests. how to access Netflix. Now, you have this option here where if you generate instructions with AI, if you've got the correct model number and you know the make and model, if you click on here, then we've actually got AI built into this where it's going to search the internet for that exact manual, and then it'll pre-populate here with exactly how to do it. So if this is especially useful if you've got something like a washing machine or a washer dryer or a particular oven. So this one here, this is a Bosch HHF 113 BA0B. So this oven, we're having a lot of issues with that because people didn't realize that it was also a microwave. But we were able to upload the model number and the brand, and then we just used AI and it pulled all that information through. So it saves you a lot of time and you don't have to do that yourself. Custom how-tos, again, in this particular property, we have got these electric blinds, and no matter what we do to try and get people to stop pulling them down, they don't realize it's electronic and they rip them off the wall. So this has been really useful for us. You can include a photograph and the buttons, what to press. Locked out, we've got, there's infinite things you can do here that once you've put in there as well, the AI within your guidebook then is going to refer to that. So if a guest is using the guidebook and they have a question, for example, if I have a guest at this apartment and they've got an issue with their blinds and they ask the AI, how do you use your blinds? It's going to refer them to this video. It's going to tell them step by step how to do it. And this is why we want to help remove the amount of time it's taking you guys to do stuff. It just makes everything absolutely seamless. Neighborhood, this is pre-populated again. Insider tips, again, everything is pre-populated, but if there's anything you want to add, if there's anything you want to remove, you can do it there. The AI assistant knowledge, a lot of people already have a house manual. What I like to do is I like to write a lot of instructions down on like a Word document. And you can save that and you can upload it here. Once you upload it, it will read everything within that document and it will add it here and it will save it, and it will then upload it to every section within your guidebook. If there's anything that's contradicts something you've already got in the guidebook, it will just prompt you to do that. So this is your local guide. This is what a lot of people find really useful. Again, it's already pre-populated from what the most popular places are around you on Google. You get the choice here. You can say this is a host pick, like I completely agree with that. You can change the order of things. You can move them up and down, however you think is best. You can remove stuff, you can delete it, you can hide it. Or if there's something in particular that you want to add, you can search for that there. So let me think of some nice local cuisine. We've got Canto around here. So that you type it in, you click it, and then you can add it, and it picks up. You've got cafes and bars added. We've got things to do, activities, groceries, pharmacies, hospitals. Everything's already put in there for you. Like I said, if you do just want to pick this up and drop it in and just give it as a link to your guests, it's all there. We just want to make sure that you guys can change things if you want to. So this section is really useful if you're somebody that's interested in upsells. Like I said, we've already connected a Stripe account to this account. If you didn't, there's just a big button here that you can press, get yourself added. It only takes a few minutes and you can start making a lot more money. So we've got late checkout. These are all pre-populated templates, early check-in, mid-stay cleaning, equipment hire, welcome packs. You could offer airport transfer, luggage storage. Maybe you want to charge a fee for a pet, or if you just want to tip the team. So as soon as you click one of these, it's already going to be sort of like pre-populated for you. You can make any amendments that you want. The probably most important thing that you need to be aware of, though, is your contacts. So I'm James. I am the primary contact here, but I'm only the host. So I don't necessarily need to be notified when someone's checking out late, but my cleaner does. So Answer's my cleaner. We've already added her details. they're down here. So you've got your notification contacts. So James, phone number, email address, same for answer, and her email address. You can then toggle on and off who you want to be contacted so that the team's notified when things happen. You'll within that, you'll get an SMS. You'll also get an email. It'll tell you the time, it'll tell you the date, and it'll tell you which guest is checking in or checking out. If you don't want to be included on that, obviously you can toggle yourself off or remove your details. But everything's on there and it runs so smoothly. Now, this is a section where you can share your guide. So you can open up the guest preview. You can have a look at it on there. You get the link that you can copy and share that with guests. We've got the messages already pre-populated if you wanted to add that to your Airbnb or your booking.com messaging service. So when that guest books, they receive it automatically. They're notified that they've got a guidebook and they can just head straight there and do everything themselves. There's a QR code, so you can download the QR code in case you wanted to save that, in case you wanted to kind of print that off and, you know, get it stuck down somewhere. Or again, just send it to your email address and you've got a link there and you've got all the actions from there. Now, the final thing I want to show you is our insights. So our AI is also constantly analyzing your listing. It's reading through your reviews and it's identifying certain areas that people are commenting on the most. So, for example, this one here, some guests noted minor equipment and furniture comfort issues. A quarterly review of furniture conditions, small appliance could help maintain that. You can go now and you know, figure out whether you need to go and check on this sort of stuff. If not, you can also decide from here whether you need to address this issue. So if, for example, I think there's one up here, first impressions. So this particular building is actually being renovated at the moment. So there's a lot of building works going on, and there's actually a skip outside. And so we did get a few reviews suggesting that that could be improved. So because this is coming up as an insight, I now know that this might be something I want to address. I might want to respond to guests in their reviews and just explain the situation where this building work isn't actually affecting people's stays, something like that. It's also going to pull insights in from the conversations that guests are having with AI. If guests just, for example, saying, I can't find the key, I'm really struggling to find the key, that's going to appear in here. So you know that stuff's going on and you can sort it out from there. So that's it. That's your main host dashboard. If there's any questions, of course, just drop us a message and we can help you with anything.